Good afternoon, students. Am I audible? Please confirm it once. Good. So let's proceed with our features of Python today. Yesterday we discussed the 4 features of the Python. Today we are going to discuss about the rest of the features. Okay? Fine. Let's start with the features. Features of the Python continued. 5th feature of the Python is interpreted programming. Now, what does that mean? Interpreted programming, when we develop any Python program, we must give file name with an extension .py. That is, we need to give the file name, plus we need to add the py at the end. Adds addition.py, example1.py, any file name with the extension .py. Now, when we execute Python programming, two processes taken place internally. Now, what are those two processes? Let's start with that. First is compilation process, and second is execution process. That how does the program executes? So, what is compilation process? In compilation process, the Python source code submitted to Python compiler, and it reads the source code. Check for errors by verifying syntaxes. Right? Yesterday, I've told you what are the syntaxes. Yes, syntaxes are nothing but the way we proceed with the code. And if no errors found, then Python compiler converts into intermediate code called bytecode with an extension .pyc. As I've told you that we need to write pyc, file name .pyc. Okay. If error found, the source code then be error displayed on the console. Like we have the name error, we have the syntax error. We'll discuss about it. Second is execution process. In execution process, the PVM reads the Python intermediate code, bytecode, line by line. It reads the code line by line and convert into machine understandable language. What is machine understandable language? Is a binary code. We know that whenever we write anything in the computer, that always convert into bytecode. And it reads by OS and processor and finally gives results. Now let's see how it happens. Hence, in this program, compilation process and execution process is taking place line by line conversion, and it is one of the interpretation-based programming language. Okay, so what is PVM? In PVM program, execution, compilation process, and execution process is taking place. Now, after that, what happens now? What is PVM? PVM is one program in Python software whose role is to read line by line of bytecode and convert into machine understandable code. What is that code? That is executable or binary code. Now let's see the image. First, this is a source code. Let's take an example. Python execution environment is there. That is sum.py. This is an execution source code. Then this Python compilation process, this is a bytecode. It converts line by line into bytecode. And then the execution takes place and PVM read line by line the bytecode and convert into machine understandable language processor, and then it gives result. Understood? If you have any questions, any queries, please raise your hands, or you can always message me on the chat box. Yes, Ramesh has raised the hand. Let me clear his query first. Now let me ask him. Yes, Ramesh, you can unmute yourself now. Tell me. Ramesh, do you want to say anything? Okay, now Shivani wants to ask something to me. Okay, no problems. Let's proceed further. Have you understood this? This is a source code. This is a compiler. It converts into byte code. This here the byte code will take place. Here the conversion will take place. And then the PVM execution phase line by line and PVM read lines by line and convert into machine understandable language, that is binary code, and read, which is read by OS and gives us the result. Okay, now next is, it is a high level programming language. Now, what is the meaning of high level programming language? In general, we have two types of programming languages. They are low level programming languages, and second is high level programming language. Now, what is low level programming language? In these programming languages, we represent the data in the lower level data like binary, octal, hexadecimal, and this type of data is not by default understandable by programmers and end user. Of course, if you write anything in the computer, and if you will be able to see that in binary language, will you be able to understand? No, that is not possible for the end user. So what happens is it changes the binary language. This is an octal language, this is hexal, and this is a binary language. So these languages are not understandable by an end user. So what people do is, what programmers do, they the data will definitely convert into machine understandable language, and then it comes to us in the form of understandable process by the end users. End users will understand the language. It gives result into our language. Okay. Now, what is high level programming language? In these programming languages, even we represent the data in lower level data like binary, octal, and hexadecimal. Even we represent the data in lower level. But the high level programming languages automatically converts into decimal number system data, which is understandable by programmers. Okay, like Python build, like Python do. What happens? What happens in the Python? The high level programming languages automatically converts the decimal number system data, which is understandable by the programmers. So we need not to do anything. That is already, it happens. End users and programmers will get the data in the form so that they will understand. The end user will understand what is. And Python is one of the high level programming language. So that is why we say that it is a high level programming language. Now, what is robust? What is robust? Robust means strong. Now, Python is one of the robust, strong because of exception handling. It is a strong programming language because of its exception handling. Now, what is exception handling? Exception means runtime error of the program are called exceptions. Like how much time it takes to run the program. Okay. As I've shown you yesterday also, we type a calendar, import calendar we typed, and we got the answer in seconds. Exception of default generates technical error messages. In case we have, let's take an example. Let's take an example. Let's go to, okay. Like yesterday we typed import calendar. Now we are, but in case if I type, if there is a spelling mistake, what will we get? we'll get the name error here. No module found. There is no module found by the name of calendar. What is the right spelling of calendar? C-A-L-E-N-T-A-R. That is why we got it. But in case we did so, we'll get the error. Now, let's proceed further. So, runtime error of the program are called exceptions. So, exception by default generates technical error messages. We got the technical error messages if we'll type something wrong. Okay. Now, the process of converting technical error messages in the user-friendly messages is called exception handling. Now, the because technical language is not understandable by the normal user. No? As we'll go to the ATM, if you'll get the languages of binary code or something, will you be able to understand? No, that is not an understandable language. What we get whatever we type, we get it in the user-friendly languages. If there is an error in that, you don't understand the error. The programmers will come and correct the error, and then it converts into user-friendly error messages, which is understandable by end users. Okay, program. So in Python program uses exception handling. The Python program uses exception handling. That is why it is a robust language. Am I clear to everyone? Is this clear? Please confirm. Please confirm in the chat box. Is this clear? Someone has raised the hand. Let me clear the doubt. Let me check. Yes, it's clear. Okay, good. Let's proceed further. It's extensible. Now, what is extensible? The Python programming giving its programming facilities to other languages, also like C++. It's giving the Python programming, I'm sorry, giving facilities to the other languages like C++, which means Python code can also be written in other languages. Python code can be written in the other languages also. That is C++. Hence, Python is one of the extensible programming language. It is not like that it is in a particular area. We have to use the Python language and we can't use the Python language code in other languages. This is wrong. We can use the Python languages code in the other languages also, like C++. Now, what is embedded? Embedded Python programming can call other languages coding segments for fastest execution. For fastest execution, Python programming can also use the other languages coding segments. Python code can call C programming code. Python code can also call the C programming code. Okay. 10. Extensive support for third-party APIs. Extensive support for third-party APIs. As Python libraries, the APIs can do many tasks and operations and unable to perform complex operations and to solve such complex operations more easily and quickly. What they use is third-party APIs. Third-party APIs. You understand what is APIs? Yesterday, I cleared it to you. What are the APIs? Yes. To solve such complex operations, they use the third-party APIs, that is NumPy. What is NumPy? NumPy is numerical calculation. Pandas in analysis tool. Matplotlib in data visualization. We also have SciPy and Scikit also. So we'll study about all these things in our batch only. Okay. Okay, let's proceed further. Now, identifiers and literals in Python. Now, what are identifiers and what are literals in Python? Let's discuss that. What is literal? Literals in Python are nothing but values passing to the Python program. Okay, programmatically, when we write any Python program, we must enter inputs. What at the inputs we enter are called literals or values. Hence, all type of values are called literals. As I've shown you yesterday also, that what type of, as I've told you yesterday also, that what type of inputs we got in Python 3.10. Let me show you. A is equal to 10. And if we got print A, type A. Now what we'll get is, this is integer type, most recent call last, line 1 in module. Okay, fine. Int object is not callable. So we got the error. Let's see it once again. Okay, there was a mistake by me. It's print A. Not got anything. Let's try it once again. Oh, I did a mistake again. I'm so sorry. See, invalid syntax. We got the error invalid syntax. Perhaps you forgot a comma. Where have I forgot the comma? I'll show you in the other slide. No problems. I'll show you. Integer value, floating point literals. Hence, all types of values are called literals. Integer value, floating point literals, str literals. Okay. Now let's, what are floating point literal, what are str literals, I'll explain it to you. Don't you worry about it. If I type A10, that is, if I type A is equal to 10, that is an int type literal. If I type B is equal to 1.2, this is a floating literal. Okay. So result will got in, and whatever result will get, that will be in floating literal. Now let's do this. See, we got the result. What is a kind of, these are called literals. 10 is in the form of integer value it is. Now B, let's see. This is a floating value, and what we got in C is C is not defined. This is a kind. Okay, let's get back to our notes. I'll tell you the errors, whatever errors we'll get. Now, str literals, Boolean literals, and collection literals. Okay. Now, what are identifiers and variables in Python? When we enter input or literal, they are stored in main memory by allocating sufficient amount of memory space with the help of data types. To process the data which was stored in main memory as a programmer, we must some distinct names, and these names make us to identify the value stored in the memory space, and hence names are called identifiers. So the data we get, the identifiers will help us to identify the names which we give to the data. Okay, the value of identifiers are changing or verifying during program execution, and hence identifiers are also called variables. Hence, all types of input or literal must be stored in the form of variables. So all type of variables are objects. Now, a variable in an identifier whose value can be changed during execution, it is an identifier. Its value can be changed during execution of the program. Okay, clear? Okay, fine. Let me check that. Okay, I'll see that. No worries, I'll see. Okay. Now let's go back to next. Now, what are the rules of variables in Python? Identifiers or variables in Python program. To use variables in Python program, we must follow the following rules. The variable name is a combination of alphabets, digits, and a special symbol underscore only. Variable name is combination of alphabets, digits, and a special symbol underscore only. The first letter of variable must start with either with an alphabet or underscore. Okay, let's see. Let's go back to our program. I'll show you whether it is valid or not. I'll show you. Now, how to start it in the form of variable? Okay, let's see that. We can always start it with, if I'll type 1 ABC, let's type 1 ABC. We got the syntax error. It is an invalid decimal literal. Okay, as I've told you, this is an invalid decimal literal. Now, next is sal 1, 2, 3 is equal to 45. It should start with the alphabet or with the underscore only. Earlier we typed 1 ABC. So 1 ABC is, we got the invalid. This is an invalid syntax. Now let's do with underscore. See, it's valid. We have not got any error. Now let's do it with the dollar sign. See, again we got the syntax error, that is invalid syntax. Now, let's try to do it with the underscore. 1, 2, 3 is equal to 5.6. Let's see. Again, it is valid. Now we'll try the syntaxes. Underscore 1, 2, 3, and then again underscore is equal to 5.6. Again, it is valid. It can be in the first also, it can be later also. But in the literal, it should start with the alphabet or with the Underscore. Underscore will be valid. Now again, let's do it in the alphabet form. Underscore sal underscore is equal to 5.6. Now see, it's again valid. So I'm going to paste these examples in our notes. Okay. I have already pasted it. That's rare. One ABC is invalid. Sal 12345 is valid. Underscore is also valid. Dollar sign is invalid. Okay, I have already done it. So you can always, I will share this in our notes also. Clear? No special symbols are allowed with variable name except underscore. Have we do it earlier also? There is no symbol, special symbols is allowed, as we did it here also. Let's take an example again. Let's go back to examples. Let's get back to examples. Sal is equal to 45. It's valid. Employee Sal is equal to 45. See, we got the error. Space also called the special symbol. If we'll type in MP Sal is equal to 45, this is valid. Space is also invalid. Let's do it. Sal hash EMP is equal to 45. See, we got the answer. Okay. Sal we got the syntax error. No special symbols are allowed. Why have we used the hash? I'll tell you. Why hash is valid? I'll tell you that. Why not the other special symbols? Only hash is allowed. It's mentioned here. Valid. Sal is 45. Sal is, if we type hash, hash will get the salary 45 printed. We got it earlier because A is not defined. A, I'll show you. Now, sal, special symbol, and then y is equal to 67. See, again, we got this is invalid syntax. Now, A hash sal is equal to 45. Why we got the answer 10? Anyone knows? It is all because A is not defined earlier. We got the name error. A hash sal is equal to 45. Clear? Now let's get back to this. Now, no keywords to be used as variable name. No keywords we can use, no keywords like else and all. Keywords are reserved words in programming languages and they give specific meaning of a compiler. Okay, when we use any special keyword, they give special meaning to the compilers. That is why we can't type it. Let's go back to the examples again. I'll paste the examples in our PPT. else is equal to 45. Why invalid syntax? That I've told you that the keywords give special symbol to that. Now, int is equal to 67. This is also valid. Okay. Am I audible to everyone? Am I audible? Just a second. There's some problem with my system. Just a second. There is some problem with my system. Let me check it once. My screen is not visible and I am audible to you. Okay, just give me a second. Let me check.
Hello. Hello. Is Sam audible? Hello.
Yes, it is. Now am I audible, right? Please confirm. Thank you. Thank you. Rajesh wants us to talk to me. Okay. Yes, Rajesh, tell me.
Can you explain that integer value again? Because the what you explain is I'm not able to understand. I just want to know why the value of 45 after hash has been printed and why value of 10 has been printed.
The value of hash is printed because I've told you earlier also. Let me explain it to you again.
Yeah.
Hash is not commenting in Python. It's mentioned here, dear. It's 56. Already we have mentioned that sal is equal to 45. But when I type is 56, it is, but sal is 45 already printed there, right? So that is the only reason we got that answer.
Can you just show in Python?
Yeah, definitely. Just a second. You have to practice everything on your own as well. Whatever notes we'll provide you, you have to practice also. Okay?
That I am
Once
doing.
you are practicing,
Yes.
fine.
Because I'm not able to see the correct answer. Because even though a plus b is equal to, so you are not able to show the correct answer.
I'll
Help
show
me.
you. Don't
Yeah,
worry.
please help.
Yeah, definitely I'll help you out. Now, earlier we typed sal is equal to 45,
Okay.
right? So we got the answer. Now, sal hash 45, sal hash employee, sorry. We got the answer 45. Why? Why I have told you? Because sal we have already mentioned it's 45. Is that clear to you? So hash doesn't matter here. You have already got the answer 45 here.
So you mean to say the hash we cannot use, means
We
anything
cannot use.
after means anything after hash cannot be considered, correct?
Yes, yes.
Then
Let's say
why sal hash emp is equal to 56
I'll show you. I'll
considered?
show you once again. Listen, see.
Ah,
It's a hash sal
okay.
is equal to 45. We got the answer 10. Right? Why? Because we have already A is already mentioned earlier. A printed is equal to 10, if you remember.
Okay.
We typed we typed it here now.
Okay. So
A is
whatever we
equal to
type
10.
initial. Ah,
Yes. You need to give the right syntax for that. Okay.
but
A is
I
already A is already mentioned, sal is already mentioned. Whatever is typed after have doesn't matter. That is not a we'll get the answer that is sal 45 and sal 10. A is equal to 10 because we have already mentioned it 10.
but the output of a has been shown here. But if I want to use in future value of 45, which is there, a has sal equal to 45, where means when it will be used future.
In future, we'll explain each and everything to you. Don't you worry. When we'll start programming, then we'll start doing programming, we'll explain each and everything to you. What are the proper syntaxes we use? What are the syntaxes we use? And what is the proper way to use that? Okay, we'll tell you. Don't you worry about it. Is that clear to you now?
Not properly. Anyway, you can do.
And whatever we'll do, don't you worry about it. We'll explain it in the future also. Whenever we'll go ahead with the syntaxes, we'll explain you that. Okay,
Okay.
when we'll proceed with the syntaxes. Okay, so as I've told you, A hash 45 invalid. Why it is invalid? Because it's mentioned A, we have already mentioned is 45. A, we have already mentioned is 10. Okay, Gautam R also wants to talk to me. Okay, Gautam, tell me.
So like in Python, like if we define a variable, like in the same example, a equal to 10, and we are doing other thing, and if we redefine a equal to 15, and in Python, like if we write any other code, it will use the variable value a as 15, because the lastly what we defined as a will be used. But in this example, yeah,
Let's do it practically. Let's do it practically. Fine. Let's do it practically. A is equal to 10. Right? This is what you want to say. And
yes,
next we'll say A is equal to 15. Right? Now we'll type print A, comma, print A. Let's do it like this.
yeah, print, yeah.
Print is not defined. Okay, just a second.
Use capital P, small p.
Yeah, that is what I'm doing. We got the 15. The last answer we typed this, we'll get the answer.
Yeah,
Okay.
but if like what you say after hashtag, it is kind of comment. So while you typing a hashtag shall equal to 45, the hashtag shall equal to 45 is a comment. So it's printing a, right?
Printing
That's,
10. Right. Yeah, right.
yeah, that's what it's doing. So
Yeah,
instead
that
of,
is what.
yeah,
Hmm.
okay, okay, fine.
Okay.
Mhm.
Clear?
Okay, now got it. But instead of like without writing the code like print, it's printing. A, if you put hashtag and put thing, it's printing the value of a.
Yes, it's been printing the value of it. Right.
Okay, okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Fine. Okay, Amir wants to talk to me. Yes, Amir, tell me. Yes, Amir, tell me. Please unmute yourself. I think he's unable to talk. You want to talk to me? Amir, are you there? Yes, tell me, Amir. Amir, are you there? Okay, I think he doesn't want to talk ahead. Let's proceed further. A is not defined earlier. Okay, now let's see. Let's go back to next. Okay. Now, no keywords to be used in variable name. Keywords are reserved words in programming languages and they give specific meaning to compilers. We were typing earlier also, else is equal to 45. Let's go back there. Else is equal to 45. Else is a keyword, right? Else one is already mentioned. Again, I'm doing this just to clear your doubts there. Now, if is also a keyword. So that is why we didn't get answer. Else one, we'll get the answer here. It is valid. If 45 is invalid, now underscore if is equal to 56. See, it's again valid and int is equal to 45. It's valid. Clear? Because int is not, as I've told you, that int is not the keyword. Int is not the keyword. That is why we got the answer. Now let's get back to the other examples. All variable name are case sensitive. Okay, all the variables are case sensitive. Now, what does that case sensitive mean? Now, what is case sensitive means? Now, let's do it again. Let's type it again. Now it is case sensitive. See, if we'll type age is equal to 19, it's valid. Now, if we'll type age is equal to 19, it is also valid. That doesn't mean that any word will start from, if it is from capital letter, that will not do, it will do definitely. All are case sensitive. Now, A. So we got the answer, right? Now let's see it whether it's true or not. Let's print the age. Let's see what answer we'll get. We have got the answer 19, 19, 19, 45. So it says that it is case sensitive. Clear? Am I clear to everyone? Please confirm. Okay. Okay, next. It is always recommended to make user-friendly variable names. Okay, why and well, let us see. It is always recommended to take user-friendly variables name. You can print, please type total salary of an employee. What is recommended and what not is recommended. Let's see that. Let's type is equal to 40. It is also valid, but it is not recommended. Now, if we'll try, it is also valid, but it is also recommended. It is also recommended. This is valid and recommended also. Why? Because we need not to type the full length. It is not recommended to use this. Just use total underscore sal dot that dash underscore employee is equal to 45. I have some questions in the chat box. Let me confirm. Here, live classes are always free. Don't you worry about it. That's a free. You'll get the 3 demo sessions, and they are always free. You can, for further thing, you can contact our support team. They will definitely help you out with that. Anybody else wants to ask questions? Now, today we have discussed about the rest of the features. One is the interpreted programming. Now we have understand what is interpreted programming. Second, we have discussed how does the process, what is the execution process of Python. That is sum.py. It is a source code that it converts into bytecode. Bytecode is the intermediate code. Then it converts bytecode convert into machine and understandable language, and then we get the answer. Now, then we discussed about the high-level programming language. How is it? It is a high-level programming language. What is the meaning of low-level programming language, and what is the difference between low-level and high-level programming? How it is robust, how the Python is the strongest language. What is the meaning of extensible? It means we can use the Python programming in the other languages also. We can write the Python code in other languages also. We can use it with C++. I've given the example. We can write it in Oracle as well. And then we discussed about the embedded. It is also embedded language. It can be code. It is embedded because of its fastest execution. Now, it supports also third-party APIs, that is third-party libraries, that is NumPy, Pandas, and all. Then we discussed about the literals and identifiers. Again, what are literals? Literals are the values passing through the Python. It can be integer value, it can be float value, it can be string, Boolean, collection. The 5 types of literals are there. Then we discussed about the identifiers and variables. What are identifiers? What are variables? What is the meaning of identifiers or variables? To process the data which is stored in the main memory, and it helps us to identify the values stored in the main memory, and hence names are called identifiers, already discussed. So all type of input or literal, they are stored in the variables only. A variable, it is an identifier whose value can be changed at the time of execution. So as we discussed also in variables, the special symbols are not allowed. Alphabets, underscore, or anything is the combination of alphabets is acceptable. But if we'll try to write with the special symbols called hash, or with the dollar sign, or with any plus sign, or with percentage sign, they will not work. As we discussed, we'll get the invalid syntax. We'll get the syntax error there. Okay. Next. Hash is used for commenting in Python. Somebody was asking me this question in the chat box. Hash is used for commenting in Python here. Okay, somebody wants me to send us the WhatsApp links. Definitely, I'll send that to you. I'll give you the just a second. Let me go to the screen. Let me give you the link also. Just a second. I'll give you the link, the Python link. This is a WhatsApp group link. I'm sharing it with you. See there, this is a WhatsApp link. I've already shared it with you. Okay, you can share with your family and friends for the further association. I've already sent there. Okay. Now, else is a special keyword, so it will not work. If is also a keyword. It was not a keyword, so we got the answer. I've shown it practically to you. I've shown it practically to you. And all variables names are case sensitive. Means if you can type, if you're typing in a small letters, they will it will accept it. If you type in a capital letters, it will also accept it. If you type in smaller case or uppercase, it is also acceptable. It is not like that if you type anything, you will not get the answer. You will get the answer. Don't you worry. I've shown you already. Let me show you again. And now, tomorrow, what we are going to discuss. See, this last one is total salary of an employee. It is valid, but not recommended. It is not recommended because we can't type the bigger lines like this. So, what is recommended? Type, give the short names, total underscore sal underscore employee. So it is valid and it is also recommended. Now, tomorrow, what we are going to discuss is data science in Python. Tomorrow, there will be the session of data sciences, so don't miss the session. And let me show you the case sensitive also again. I wanted to show you again the case sensitive one. Let me show that. See, if it's not like that we can only type in the capital letters. We can always type in the, let's see, it's cloud. Let me give an example again. Cloud is equal to 9. And it will type capital. Cloud is equal to 9. So let's print it and let's see whether we'll get the answer or not. So we got the answer. Clear? So let's wind up the session today. We'll discuss about the data sciences and Python tomorrow. Is that clear? Okay. Goodbye. Have a nice day.